Beneath the solemn hush of Oxford Crown Court, a 19-year-old named Thomas Johnson stood to accept responsibility for a devastating event that claimed 3 young lives. On Wednesday, December 18th, Johnson pleaded guilty to causing death by dangerous driving after a midnight crash on June 20th, 2023, left 3 teenage boys dead in Markham, Oxfordshire. This grim conclusion followed months of investigation and heartbreak, culminating in a sentencing that has brought at least some measure of closure to the families involved. According to information provided by Thames Valley Police, Johnson had been speeding in his BMW 3 Series, traveling at nearly 100 miles per hour on a rural road. Before the fatal incident, he had overtaken another car on a route entirely unsuitable for such reckless velocity. Inside his own vehicle were 3 passengers, 18-year-olds Ethan Goddard and Daniel Hancock, and 17-year-old Elliot Pullen. None would survive the explosive collision that followed. In the critical moments after the high-speed maneuver, Johnson lost control. The BMW smashed into a lamppost, then a stone wall, and finally a large tree. The force of the impact killed Goddard, Hancock, and Pullen. Johnson sustained critical injuries and would spend months in hospitalization. As investigators pieced together the scene, it was discovered that Johnson was under the influence of nitrous oxide, commonly referred to as laughing gas, at the time of the crash. During the court hearing, it was noted that Johnson had held his driver's license for less than a year before the tragedy. Video evidence recovered from the mobile phones of those in the car revealed him apparently inhaling from a balloon behind the wheel. Empty nitrous oxide canisters were found inside the wreckage. A pharmacology expert determined that the chemical's disorienting effects had contributed to Johnson's catastrophic lapse in judgment. Further inquiry showed that the car's traction control had been deliberately disabled. Senior Investigating Officer Detective Sergeant Tony Jenkins of the Serious Collision Investigation Unit described the event as one of the most catastrophic collisions he had ever investigated. While noting that Johnson did not set out to harm anyone, Jenkins emphasized that the young driver's choices directly resulted in the deaths of 3 friends. For his actions, Johnson received a prison sentence of 9 years and 4 months and was disqualified from driving for over 11 years. No evidence suggested intoxication by substances other than nitrous oxide. Heartbroken relatives spoke in the aftermath. One mother described the massive hole left by her son's death, while a father remarked on the enduring pain, even 18 months later. With the sentencing complete, what remains are the lasting consequences of one night's reckless decisions, now documented in the court's record and in the memories of those who knew the victims.